What's up, Raptor fans? Andre Lindo back again for another Raptors recap, or Raptors Barbershop recap as I'm calling it here. The Raptors looked really good tonight. Defensively, it's just those refs, man. Coming up. Okay guys, the Raptors win, a pretty good one, 109 to 100 against a pretty good Utah team, and a team that did not lose at all at home, and the Raptors went in and gave them their first loss. That's the Raptors that I like to see. There's a couple of things I wanted to say. You know, Utah has a really good record, and they are, one of the top in the West right now, and it's because it's early. But I think the true Utah team showed up today, and I think that's what the Utah team is going to be. And one last thing, Donovan Mitchell is a player, man. That kid is good, and he's worth it just to watch Utah, just to watch him play, because, man, he was giving us work. Anyways, 3 key points. Key point number 1, DeRozen and Kyle Lowry played a great game. Like I was saying from the last game, it starts from the top, and DeRozen and Lowry started off on fire. I am telling you, DeRozen had 37 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 for 20 from the field, and I think he's almost shooting 50% from the field this year. And then, guess what? He shot 3 of 7 from three-point range. Not Steph Curry, not Klay Thompson, Demar DeRozen scored 3 3-pointers and back-to-back 3-pointers.
Who is this guy?
I guess they were really embarrassed about the game last in Denver, and it was an embarrassing game, and they wanted to come and show that they mean business. And you know what? The Raptors are steadily showing that they are one of the top teams in the East, if not be it the NBA. You got your Oklahoma City, you got your Warriors, you got your Spurs, you got your Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, but I think the Raptors are right there, and they're on the cuffs. A lot of us have been talking, and we think the Raptors are literally one player away from making it to a final. So let's see how the Raptors go throughout this season. But DeMar DeRozan again played magnificently. Tried to go for that 40 points, and then they were trying to feed him, and he was trying to take some extra threes, and he missed both of them. So he would have been 3 for 5 from three-point range if he hadn't taken those extra threes. Another thing, too, is Kyle Lowry had 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists. Another double-double for Kyle Lowry. He's starting to get into rhythm and starting to hit that three-pointer. He was 3 for 6 from three-point range, which is pretty good. Yes, that is great to see our leaders on our team playing the way that they're supposed to play, and it just trickled down. It's a trickle-down effect. When your leaders are playing well, you just trickle it down. Key point number 2. Man, those refs. Like, what is it with those referees? The first 2 quarters of this game, the refs it was lopsided calls for the Utah Jazz. There was this one ref in particular, I think his number was 56, and he was abysmal. He was calling horrible calls. We saw JV get shoved. We saw Proto get shoved, and he's calling double technicals and watching video, and it was a mess, man. NBA, you need to look at that game. That officiating was not very good, and let's get these referees understanding the game a little bit better and seeing where their mistakes are and trying to ref a tighter game.
Take that for data.
In the second half, they started to pick it up and started giving the Raptors calls, giving DeRozan calls, where DeRozan was 14 for 14 from three-point range. I guess you know who the player of the game was. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But key point number 3. Welcome back, Norman Powell.
Welcome back. Oh, yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you
Norman Powell finally hit a couple 3-pointers. My man was shooting and scoring. He was hitting 3-pointers. He was hitting jumpers. He was taking the ball aggressively to the rim, and he was playing some great defense. So, you know what's funny? He hasn't been playing bad defense at all this year, but he really played some great defense on key players and key matchups, especially against Donovan Mitchell and and Ricky Rubio. And he was playing really great, especially when it came to the second half, just coming in and just being aggressive, finding his shot. And then I think it really came down to Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry finding these players that are struggling and say, hey, here, man, take this shot. Here, man, get this shot. Get into the flow of things. Because he needs to facilitate and make these players around him way better. So thank you, Norm. Let's see you continue in the starting lineup and hit some more of those 3-pointers. And just as a side note, the Raptors hit 36% from 3-point range. Now, let me do some calculations real quick. Raptors were 36% from 3-point range. And then at the end of the game, they took some inadvertent threes, 2 by DeRozan and then 1 by Kyle Lowry. And I'm telling you right now, they would have been at 39%. That 40% mark is where they gotta be. That's the sweet spot. When you're at 40%, the Raptors are on a roll. That's why I didn't think the Raptors were going to lose this game one bit. And remember my prediction, 2-1. Anyways, we'll talk about that tomorrow when we recap the whole week. But it's great that the Raptors are starting to hit the 3-pointers and starting to move. Our player of the game, of course, is Mr. Demar DeRozen. 37 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 for 20 from the field goal range, 3 for 7 from 3-point range. I cannot say that anymore. 3 3-pointers, not 1, 3. And 3 for 7, so jeez. And then 14 for 14 from free throw range, which is pretty good in my books. Thank you guys for watching this video and supporting it. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Raptors. They're playing Washington, and guess what? John Wall may be out for that game, so that could be another, big sigh of relief that we don't have to deal with a John Wall player, but we can't sleep on the Washington Wizards. Still think they're a good team. But what do you guys think about the next game? Tell me what you thought about the week. What do you think the Raptors need to improve on? What do you think Coach Casey has to improve on with the team? Let me know in the comments below, and then subscribe to the channel. I think it's over here, anywhere, somewhere around here. Subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos that I did. Give me some pointers. Let me know what you think, and let's continue building this community of Raptor fans, because this is a show by a Raptor fan for Raptor fans. Anyways, thank you guys. Peace.